All right, so the question got asked, okay, exactly what are we supposed to be doing then? What you were given were the student data files. So for chapter 1, it's got this done already, and you're supposed to make the changes that are shown in it throughout the chapter. Does that make sense? So I think it starts on about, I don't know for sure, but I believe it was, where is this? On around page 12. To create the plant list, so open this, do these steps. You do these, and I want you to go through the entire chapter, and any time in the chapter where they tell you to do this, you are to do that. Does that make sense? It's possible that you might do some stuff that overrides other stuff. If you want me to be able to be sure, so let's say it tells you to do X. I don't care what X is. It tells you to do X. And then afterwards, a little later, it tells you to do Y, which basically overwrites X. You understand what I'm saying? You can always take what you did at first and comment it out, because you know how to comment out things. All right? But I expect you to go through all those exercises that are there throughout the chapter. Then, as I move up to around page 60, I'm not sure where it is, but it's in here someplace. At the end of each chapter that we go through, there will be 5 hands-on projects. In your student data files, you have starters for these projects. So you are to go through this. Go through project 1. Follow the steps that are shown in here. All right? And right now yours looks like this, but you don't have this stuff in it. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'll have to add that. Then project 2. All right? Sometimes they'll show you what it'll look like afterwards. Sometimes they won't. There's project 2. Then project 3. Then project 4, and finally project 5. Finally, at the end, you are to start on these 2 case projects that are at the end. There's enough stuff for you to do. I would prefer it if you would just turn in everything, period, when you get it done. Does that make sense? Have like a chapter 1 folder that you have the thing you did in the chapter, the hands-on at the end of the chapter, and the projects. All right? And what we'll do is we'll make them due on Mondays. So next Monday, everything here that I just mentioned to you for chapter 1 is due. Does that make sense? And on Monday of next week, we will go over chapter 2, and we're just going to keep going like this. All right? Now, I've got to look through my stuff. Give me just a second here. I don't want that. This is it, but we're going to find out. All right, if you have your books with you, you might want to open up your book to page 62. We're going to go over, I'm just using what the author has here. This is what the author uses. This is what your tests, your written tests will be based off of. So if you've got the book, great. If you don't, you might want to just write these down. All right. Take about 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. I want to give you at least an hour today. You've got all period tomorrow to work on this, all period Wednesday to work on this. The written test will be Thursday, then the rest of the period Thursday, and all Friday. All right? And if it turns out, if you start saying, you know, we got way too much time, then we'll just speed it up. Because we can write a website too. I don't have any problem doing that from scratch. All right? All right, so question 1, a URL is a type of, the answer is B, URI. So a URL is a type of, a URL, a uniform resource locator, is a type of URI, a uniform resource indicator. So number 1 is B, URI. Number 2, what organization oversees the development of web technology standards? The answer is the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium, also B. So numbers 1 and 2 are both B. Number 3, the markup language originally developed to create web pages and still in use today is HTML. You already know this. So 3 is A, HTML. Number 4, CSS, D, is a separate complementary language to HTML developed for specifying the appearance of web page elements. So 4 is D, CSS. Number 5, elements that don't require a closing tag are known as B, empty elements. 5 is B. 6, what is the root element of an HTML document? The answer is C, HTML. 7, a system consisting of solely a client and a single server is called a two-tier system. So 7 is C, a two-tier system. Number 8, what is the primary role of a client? The answer is D, to present the interface to the user. Typically it's a web page. So 7 is C and 8 is D. Number 9, which of the following functions does the processing tier not handle in a 3-tier system? All right, and the answer is D, data storage, because you have several different servers. So you have just a data storage or a database server. So 9 is D, data storage. 10, which of the following uses the correct case? The answer is B, document.write. That's the only one that's totally in lowercase. So 10 is B, document.write, all in lowercase. Number 11, which is not a valid identifier? The answer is B, because it starts with a number. I would not recommend doing it like A or like D. I would always recommend doing it like C. But A, B, and D are technically all valid. Number 12, when you assign a specific value to a variable on its creation, you are initializing that variable. So number 12 is initialize. Something equals something. That's assigning it a value or giving it an initial value, sometimes called initialization. Anyone need any of those first 12 repeated? 2. World Wide Web Consortium, B. Any other ones? 13. Code that tells the browser to do something in response to an event is an event handler. 13 is B, event handler. 14, which method displays the dialog box with an OK button? 14 is C, window.alert. And the word window and the period there are not required. When you say document.something, you must use the word document. When you say window.something, you can leave off the window and the dot. Number 15, a section of a document that's not interpreted as markup, that's C data, C for commented data. So 15 is B, C data. Oops. 16, kind of long. You wouldn't have to write all that stuff. That's ridiculous. Just remember that with design, it's more on the marketing side. Development is on the programming side. If you remember that, you should be fine. What's the difference between character? You don't have to know that either. Number 18, write the JavaScript to add copyright, all right, as a line comment. Write the same thing as a block comment. The big thing is line comment, / block comment, / asterisk, ending with asterisk /. Number 19, write a statement that creates a variable even though they didn't put it there. Technically, they should have said var with a little v. That would have been better syntax. Number 20, what is a library? Basically, it's code that you have saved so that you can use it repeatedly. Anyone need any of those 20 repeated?
What are we putting on 17?
I don't know. If there's a question like that, I'll probably throw it out anyway.
Yeah, what was the second part of 16? You said design was on before the...
No, I said that web page design is more on the marketing end. Authoring is if you're a web page developer. The developing stuff is if you're a web page programmer. All right? I don't think that's even on there, but we'll see. Any other questions? All right, the rest of the period then is yours.